Hello, this is Guardstar, and welcome to the final trial on this episode. You're looking at the entrance right now, and my base is just over there. So I'll be parking there, and then I'll walk over to the trial. Sure, the ornithopter's empty, yes. Why is this open? Did I not? Oh, okay, I got it set to open automatically, that's why. After this, I'll have to get the big tanks. I'll have to put in all the things I need in here. Unfortunately, I need to get the steel and iron from a different location, so, or at least the iron from a different location. Once I get the iron here, I can make the steel. Alright, let's look through here. Need to find my notes because I actually took notes on the quest. I just gotta find my clipboard somewhere. I just don't know where the clipboard is right in the moment. I have two of them. Look through this one. Anyway, I'll bring you back in once I'm ready to go in. I'll cross here first. It's relatively short, so I should be able to get across here without much hassle. And here it is. Just look for this symbol. It's on this side of the map. The Pinnacle station is there. The other station, the Crossroads trade post, is there, so it's in between those two stations against this wall. And I just look for the lab. I'll give you an indication where it is. Now there are two puzzles to solve here. The first one, I have my notes for it. Those are the ones that you need to remember the names. This is also where we're going to meet up with that one researcher. I think she's a researcher. That you hear her voice in some of the recordings. You will meet her here. Now the first puzzle, you don't have to be afraid of it. You make mistakes, you can actually, it'll just bounce you out. You can just try again.
Who's that?
Whoa! I forgot I had to actually fight people here. Reach for my shield. Where are you? I guess I should have made sure. Alright. We just bounce off that. Yeah, of course I am. Yeah, okay, I should have just used my sword. Grab the plug. Don't. After this, I won't really need this thing anymore. Where'd the body go? Really? He spawned that fast? That's the first puzzle, the door. Just making sure there was no chest down here. Excuse me. Wow. Don't even warn these guys. I'll just... Alright. So... They tried to break in here. I think this story tells me. Just look at the blasts. But door is key to only allow people with the Fremen blood, which I apparently have. The carvings on the door depict a series of planets. A celestial projection of a handprint figures in front of the door. Place your hand on the projection. The whir of machinery begins from the walls around the door. See if this will automatically go forward. Oh yeah. It depicts, I think, their voyage from the beginning. How they became the Fremen. Is it just gonna keep doing that? I guess we'll just
We are the people of Misr. We have known flight and death. The young go on that our people shall not die. Where did our flight begin?
I don't.
We grew soft, Wali. So God brought us the weight of kindliness to prepare for the typhoon. Name the planet where we lost our way.
Okay, I've had it already on there.
On our wanderings, we came to a planet devoid of gods, where war was constant and violence was religion. Have you learned its name, Wally?
Lucius Secundus.
We remember the slave cribs where we were held, weeded out, persecuted. Do you remember too, Wally?
Bellaticus.
The thread of the past was carried by word until we found the poison drug. One of the cursed planets was a blessing for our Sayadina.
Rosak.
So many planets, across so many centuries. Our people broke apart, split, reformed. Some planets we barely remember at all.
Thurgrod.
A long journey, young Wally. But we are almost home. Just one last place of suffering, where our children were taken and made slaves.
Hermantep.
The time of Mihna has ended. Young Wali, pass within and seek your Ummah.
The path of the Zensuni Exodus is rare and hidden knowledge. You are no Masquerade cultist. Who are you? What do you seek here? The Fremen are long gone. Their siege is abandoned. Only their ghosts remain to haunt these halls. That security door is encoded for Fremen biometrics. How did you bypass it? Perhaps we can help each other. I'm a scholar of Fremen's social, cultural, and philosophical constructs, both past and present. They fascinate me. And I've studied the layout of this place. It's a death trap. Between the Masquerade trying to blow their way in and the structural damage left by the Sardaukar, the whole thing could come crashing down. And I have yours. The name's Aerie. I serve no one. Let's say I'm something of a freebooting academic. And like you, my interests lie in discovering the true extent of the Fremen eradication. Or more to the point, discovering if that eradication even occurred. South, maybe. Arrakis is a big place. And while we like to think we're at the center of all things, in relative terms, the sphere of Imperial influence is rather small. They could be anywhere beyond the deep desert or the Tanzaruft, as it's known to the Ikhwan Bedouin. Not entirely. I'm sure the Sardaukar massacred them by the thousands. This siege bears evidence of that. But you're right. I don't believe the Imperial account, and I'm hoping the truth, or part of it, awaits us inside. If we survive.
Oh, we will. Alright. I don't remember what the challenges are in here. I know after you solve the second puzzle, you end up in a fight, but let me just keep an eye out. Ooh, okay. Oh yeah, that's right there.
It serves the Emperor to depict the Fremen as barbarous and savage, but look at their craft. I see the work of a socially and materially advanced people. A people with the innate practicality and good sense to worship a local and very available god. That's also, conveniently, an apex megapredator.
Oh, I think I was supposed to be looking at that, right?
It serves the Emperor to depict the Fremen as barbarous and savage, but look at their craft. I see the work of a socially and materially advanced people. A people with the innate practicality and good sense to worship a local and very available god. That's also, conveniently, an apex megapredator.
Yeah, a big worm. Oh yeah, there's actually another puzzle in here. Is there marking on that door? No. So this is the way out. Just reminding me.
Encounter the Masquerade on your way here? There's some kind of cult. Worm worshippers based
Oh,
at
yeah.
an abandoned power station far to the west. It's odd to see them this far east. But if they found this place, they'll be coming. Down here, water discipline would finally be relaxed. Visitors could shed their dusty still suits and find refreshment. Looks like there's no other way forward. I hope you brought your cutter ray.
Yeah, did that. I did not bring the compactor though, so I hope I don't need that. Oh, wrong one. Oh, need to scan it first. Did I scan it?
We'll probably find that a lot of corridors and subchambers are collapsed and impassable. Some would have been brought down by the Sardaukar to deny key areas and resources to any survivors. Others would have been brought down by the Fremen themselves, to crush the invading assault force or channel them to a kill zone. then for blades. That's a door I don't want to open.
Oh, I think they were probably talking about that. Euro.
Strange to think these corridors once echoed with the hopes and dreams of a lost multitude. Mothers, fathers, and children beyond count. And now, only silence. The silence this rock hasn't known in 10,000 years.
Do not stand in the way of my camera. Please, thank you. That might be the way up. Alright, if that's the way out, then I'm gonna check out the rest of the place. Oop.
Barracks were through here, I believe. And likely an armory. It's probably for the best that this way is impassable. Barracks were through here, I believe.
Oops.
And likely an armory. It's probably for the best that this way is impassable.
Nope. All right. That should pretty much cover all the spots. Let's head back. Checking the floor. No. Ah, here it is.
Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces. We will start with these mutated poverty grasses. When we have moisture locked in grasslands, we'll move on to start upland forests, then a few open bodies of water, small at first, and situated along lines of prevailing winds with wind-trap moisture precipitators spaced in the lines to recapture what the wind steals. We must create a true sirocco, a moist wind, but we will never get away from the necessity for wind traps. This ecological transformation of Arrakis relies upon us controlling 3% of the energy surface. Only 3% to start a self-sustaining system. Learn this lesson well. Our transformation begins in the plantations of the south and proceeds in simple steps to begin. Bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open.
All right. Part of this puzzle is to put the symbols in the right order. There's 3 sets of them, essentially what they'll do is that the symbols will show up there where it says lesson 1. Now the clues were in his message.
To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to air.
Okay, that'll be the first
You
one.
will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open.
I'm gonna have to write this down because I know the first one's grass. All right.
To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons,
Okay.
and the door to the future will open.
Grass. Okay, so that's the first symbol. That might be the second one. But he refers to shelter on the second one. So this might be it. And then the last one's an animal. Caverns are fine. Oh, it's the mouse. Alright, so the mouse symbol's the animal. And the shelter is the wind with a hill. And the grass is that. Okay, so let's... So if we go... Oh, okay, it's the buttons are pretty small. Okay, so you gotta just hit the same button. Okay, that's grass. I said the shelter was... need wind. That might have been the last one. Is that backwards? That might be that one. Okay, here. Yeah, that looks right. When I said the last one was the mouse.
To begin, bind the dunes using grass.
Okay, so it starts.
Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open.
Okay, so maybe number 2's wrong? Oh, there it is. That's the one I'm looking for.
To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize
Could be
the
that
language
one.
of the ecological transformation.
For the second
Remember
one.
your lessons, and the door to the future will open.
Oops, that was it.
To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate
That's
the
planting.
soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember
Caverns,
your
fire.
lessons, and the door
Oh,
to the
downwind.
future will open.
Okay, so maybe it's downwind?
To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open.
Well, we're gonna have to listen to it one more time.
To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how
Oh, maybe
well
it's
you
the
have learned
full.
to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open. To begin, bind the dunes using grass.
Find
Secondly, create
grass.
deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned. To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly,
Find dune.
create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally,
Plantings.
introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested. To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals. To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally,
Shelter.
introduce burrowing
Downwind.
animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize
Yes.
the language of the ecological. To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the
aerate.
language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future
Alright.
will open.
Bind dune grass. Okay, so gotta bind. Where's the bind? Okay, there's bind.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
And that's dune. Okay. So its first one is bind dune grass. Which one was bind again? This one. Alright, so it's like the equal sign with the E. That. Dune was that one.
Sector weather alert.
That one there.
A large sandstorm is approaching.
And then grass, which is this one here, right? Yep. Nope, next one.
Very good.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're on track here. So the second line was create deep plantings, shelter, downwind face. Okay, so this is planting. Is there anything that says deep in here? Create. That one's downwind. All right, so one of them shelter. I think this is shelter, right? No, that's mountain. Shelter's that one, okay. Okay, so we want to do planting, which I believe is that one. Okay, so we'll do... Well, let's do it this way, it's easier. What's the first word? Planting. Second word should be shelter. And the last word is downwind face. Maybe that's not shelter. Oh, no, that's mountain. What's shelter? That's cavern. That's also cavern? Do we have two caverns on this? Yeah, I guess. So shelter must be over here. Oh, the shelter is the one with the wind plus the tent. Okay.
Brilliant
There
work.
we go. Last one is... That's the mouse aerate soil. Okay. Oops. Oh, I must have hit that. Alright, so first one is the mouse. Alright. One of them's aerates. It's fire. Oh, aerate. It's a wind with squiggly. That one. What was actually the first one? Nah. And what was the last one? Last word is soil. Do I have soil here? No. Definitely won't be on that one. I wonder if sand will actually work, but... Let's fire. Definitely not that one. Let's listen to that message
To
again.
begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize
aerate
the
the
language
soil.
of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open.
I think it'll either be that one or that one. But, in this case, all I need to do is just hit the button slowly. One of them will trigger it.
Congratulations. You share the knowledge
So-
of a Fremen pre-adolescent.
That was this one, which is sand. Okay. Cool. See, I like that. That was a good puzzle.
Good work. This must be the way.
Oh, maybe I should.
That's the masquerade. I was hoping it would take them longer to arrive in force. We'd better hurry up and be done with our business here.
No. I think I'll take my time. You can take your time. There's no real rush because they don't. I don't think they show up until after you've finished the last puzzle, which took me a while.
This must be the Cavern of Council, the cultural and political heart of any Siege community. It's here that Siege dwellers would gather to hear a traveling crier regale the community with news from beyond. And up there, upon that great terrace extending over the room, is the reason we're here today.
Grab these before I go up there. Let's make sure there's nothing on the other side. Oh, more here. Definitely want that. Grab all those.
A death still. The place all Fremen end up at death, so they may return their water to the tribe. That script upon the platform reads, "The water of the tribe shall reveal the path." And I believe the path in question is related to the secret that's brought us both here. And while you are clearly no Fremen, you were able to pass their biometric locks without tampering or delay. Whatever lies beyond here, I believe your blood is the key.
Yep. Yes, it is. Okay, first off, let's just make sure there was nothing over here. Nope. Okay. Alright. Puzzle is I have to align. So I think, do I put my blood over here or do I put it over there? Can't remember. But anyway, there has to be a path. See this path here will connect to either this one or maybe here. might be this one, but there is a way to interact with, and the thing is, two of these are actually interconnected. Like, so if I do this, one of them will move that way. But if I go to that one and then click it, did both of them move? And then if I go and click that one, the other two move. So this one is connected to both of these. Took me a bit of a time to get it to go, but the circles are the keys. You want the circles to be together. So see, that's what you're looking for. Okay, so that's actually might be in its proper spot there. And the question is how do I align this one? All right, from the looks of it, this one has to line up with that. Okay, so that one spins on its own. Okay, so I had it in the right spot. I gotta figure out how many turns I would actually have to turn this to get it. Well, that definitely isn't right. Alright, so that looks good there. Crap. That's not what I wanted. All right. Oh, that doesn't look right. Okay. Really? Oh, yeah, water. You are a bit of annoying. Alright, so somehow I gotta get this circle to one, it goes to the right. once, I can pull it back with the... I gotta line it up. And the problem is the inner circle turns pretty much the same time as the outer circle. Okay, so that's the location I want the inner circle to be in. That's the key. Now, okay. Fuck off. I'll get it. I just need to get those two to line up here. Right there. Okay, so now once I select the... Just get out of my way, you bitch. Come on. Get over here. Get the fuck up behind me. Alright, now I should be able to... Wasn't that supposed to turn with me? Come on. Get out of my way. Actually, I wonder if I can tell her to stay there. No. Wish it was better controls. Okay, that's where I need that to be. So I need that to be over there. I paused the video here for a moment just to show you something. At this point, all I had to do was click the outside ring and it would have solved the puzzle. But my companion was frustrating me so much that I was annoyed to the point where I didn't notice it. And I continued, which then takes me longer to solve this puzzle. Yeah, I'm partially right. Okay, that looks like it lines up right. Okay, so this... Why did it do that? It's not what I wanted. Ah, for crying out loud. Fuck off! That's half the battle with this thing. There. That's back to where I wanted it.
Very good.
There we go. And I got myself through the shield. Yay. So that's the solution. It's just, it'd be a lot easier if the controls were a little bit better.
Greetings, and Sabakul Kuar. If you are watching this, I am likely dead or captured. I came to Siege Talab in the same condition you find it now. Abandoned and despoiled. I must have triggered some kind of hidden alarm, because the Sardaukar were at my heels before long. They found me. I haven't long, so listen well. I was brought to this planet, like you and many others, with one overriding directive: find the Fremen. But when I finally came face to face with my quarry, I did not find the villains as described by the Communinet or the Emperor. Instead, I found a noble people being drawn into a conspiracy not of their making. A conspiracy extending from the very heart of the Imperium to the dark corridors of... I have to go. They don't know where I am right now, but I can't risk them finding what I leave for you. I wish there was more time. I have much to tell you, but your mere presence in this secret chamber indicates that the ones who sent us will not stop until they achieve their aims. I have hidden the details of my journey on a mimetic film locked within the safe on the wall. As with the security door and the death still, our blood is the key. And now, I lead the Sardaukar as far from here as I may. Ma salam.
The
Tricky, tricky. Fremen. I believe more than half the technology in this room violates the first 11 Butlerian prescriptions. Probably more. Thou shalt not make a machine in the likeness of a human mind. And while the Fremen are ingenious, this technology far exceeds their reach.
Let's grab this. And I think...
Who are you really? This film is encrypted with a kind of protection I've only encountered in the restricted section at the Nemesine Library on Artesia. I believe that encryption was of Ixian origin. That's not good. We need an Ixian decoder to access whatever is on this, and I have access to the resources of a great house. Don't be concerned. I'll reach out when I have more information. If we Atreides are known for anything, it's our stiff-necked honor. Besides, as a mystery, you rank right up there with this film. Parting with people is a sadness. A place is only a place.
Alright, so what do I need to find a way out of the secret chamber? Yeah, of course. I think that's the way out, but I just want to make sure I'm not missing something in here, because once I leave, I leave. I don't think you can come back. I haven't tried. Alright, this is where the battle begins.
The Masquerette. I'm going to try to draw them off. I'll make contact when I have the film decrypted.
Infidels! The lightning worm cannot be deceived! You will pay for your desecration in blood!
No, it's you that's gonna pay.
Do not let them escape!
You shall pay. Okay, first off, it's just a matter of getting a good spot. Yeah, you can try. Oh, that's right, I actually have the wrong gun here. There we go. Okay, where are you? Did you come down? No, you don't come down?
Eyes on enemy.
Okay, they're shooting from over there. Off I go.
I've got your back! We've got incoming! Get them!
Oh, there you are. Good. Out in the open. Should kill him eventually. There we go, that's one.
Kill ammo.
For the tyrant planet!
I'm not gonna worry about the blood right now. Okay, where are they? There's one.
Got them.
Reveal yourself. Huh? Enemy found.
Oh, there they are. The big problem will be the big boss. Unless that was the one that I killed right here. Oh, yeah, that might have been him. Oh, there it is. Knew there was a chest somewhere around here. Remember that much from the last time I did this. Sure. There was never anything down at the bottom there, but there. Ooh. Maybe something in this room? Yes. Yes, there is. And some bandages. Let's just examine. Okay, maybe that was... Ooh, lag a bit. And this is the original mural, so this is no way out. Maybe not. Oh, you know what? I had to actually climb. I had to remember that much. Maybe I need to go up there? No. Oh, it's just here. Why did I think of having to climb? See, it's automatically unlocked for me. Great. Where did it bring me? Up here. Alright, well. My base is behind me. So it's in this direction. Yeah. Need to make a bike for this base. So we know. Yep. Well, this should be interesting. Oop, I heard a bit. There. Made it. Oh shit. Shield. Yeah, the worms don't like the shields very much. And there we go.
Are you there? I've been trying to reach you for a while. I haven't managed to find an Ixian decoder for the Mnemic film anywhere. And that is unusual, given the resources I have access to. It's as if they've been deliberately removed from the face of Arrakis. I'll keep looking, but I wanted to let you know. Keep your eyes open. Maybe one of the towns has a black market trader who kept one in stock. I'll be in contact.
Alright. One at Arco, which I haven't visited yet. Okay. Alright, so that was the final siege. And the final test. Not quite finished with the storyline though. So I'll see you all on the next episode. Bye.